Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. What's good, what's good, what's good? So if you've been here for, I don't know, 2 seconds, you kind of know that a lot happened this past week. More than just a little bit, actually, right? Let's go over the key themes. Regulatory actions and compliance, things like SEC oversight, new crypto tax laws, ETF approvals, crackdown on scams. We had a huge scam, right? Then we've got institutional and corporate crypto adoption, technological advancements such as blockchain innovations, AI impact on crypto, quantum computing threats. You've got market trends and performance, security and fraud concerns, hacks, phishing scams that happened this past week. Chicano, what's good? What else do we have? DeFi and decentralization, non-custodial wallets being the next craze for everyday purchases, right? Based on security and user experience, user interface design. So that's actually bigger than what most people think. My hands are a little dry. I got to put some lotion on. We've got political and economic influence, government initiatives in crypto around the world, lobbying efforts, just a lot of stuff. When you think about national Bitcoin reserves in the United States, you've got state level Bitcoin reserves, actions going on. You've got exchange and trading updates, futures and derivatives expansion. One of them was by Coinbase. You've got meme coin phenomenon and speculation dying. It's been volatile. It's been volatile for a minute, but basically it's been dying. Like let's not even kid ourselves. It has not been good. It has not been good for the meme coin space. Just a lot of stuff going on. So when you think about that, you want to break it down to, what were the key events this week? Well, we had a $1.4 billion with a B as in boy hack of Bybit. That's the world's third largest crypto exchange. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that are thinking that's a centralized exchange. And they just got hit for a lot of Ethereum. $1.4 billion was stolen from them. I saw an article from Tether saying they were able to stop, $181,000. And I was like, why did you even say anything? Why did you even say anything? Like, are you serious with that? That's not even funny. Like, I don't understand. But whatever. It's so insignificant. Is my point. They could have just kept quiet. That's nothing. That's not even 1%. It's 0.1%. Little over 0.1, maybe 0.1.5, something like that. But yeah, not a lot. Not a lot. So you had that. You had, let's just look at the regulatory stuff. SEC launches the Cyber and Emerging Technologies Unit to combat crypto fraud. That's a huge change from the other enforcement unit. They wanted to rebrand the unit and shift its focus, which is huge. 8 paws in the his house. What's good, what's good, what's good. You know what I should do? I should put this over here. That's what I should do and make it easier for me to actually read stuff. There you go. That's mucho bettero. That's mucho bettero. Let's see, can we do it over here? No, I can't. All right. There you go. That's all I need. So now I have my notes and my people all right in front of me, which is, pretty nice. Actually, I should actually flip sides. That would make more sense. So yeah, there's been a lot of news. Which to me is kind of like people weren't paying attention. They should be. I published 66 articles this week. Good afternoon, Rick Ritchie. I published 66 articles this week. I took a little bit of a rest. And you sit there and you kind of go, 66 articles. That means I had to sift through hundreds of news sources to get to that 66. So when I ask you guys to do your 15 minutes of homework, I'm only asking for 15 minutes. So 8 Pause, Chicano, Rick Ritchie, did you do your 15 minutes of your own research? I need to know. I pretty much know the answer, but I want to see you say it. Need to confirm, right? Trust but verify everything. So then you had, after the SEC launching the new unit, you had U.S. senators pushing the SEC for clarity on staking ETFs. You have Binance facing new money laundering probe in France, and then Nigeria trying to get, what was it, 8 point something billion dollars out of them, or no, I'm sorry, $81 billion. I don't know what kind of crack pipe they're smoking, but it's big, it's huge. That's a huge crack pipe. Huge crack pipe. 8 Pause, Rick Ritchie, Chicano. I haven't seen you respond. Have you done your 15 minutes worth of research every day this past week? Again, this whole point of the Sunday Roundup is to kind of turn around and take a look at what's happened in the past week so we can kind of figure out what might happen in the coming weeks. Right? Trading Maverick, what's good? You have Binance. I told you Binance is facing new stuff. Nigeria wants $81 billion. They're saying for all kinds of tax stuff. And I'm like, yeah, nah. Nigeria's on some stuff. I don't know what they're on, but they need to cut it out. Then you have the SEC acknowledging multiple XRP ETFs, which is huge. And there's Stitch. He just got back from his walk. Whenever he comes back in from a walk, he's hyper as hell. And then you look at institutional stuff. You've got BlackRock iShares holding about $56 to $60 billion worth of Bitcoin, or of the Bitcoin ETF market. That's not a little bit of huge. That's huge. I'm doing it while listening to you. Steady on the grind. That's what's up. That is what's up. Got to do what you got to do. But 8 Pause, I haven't heard anything from you. Trading Maverick, have you done your homework this week? 15 minutes a day. That doesn't mean sit down on one day and cram in, all of your studying. That's not what that means. I know that's what some people think it means. That's not what it means. It means get up and do 15 minutes a day so you know what's going on. 8 Pause, yes, researching U.S. gold. Will U.S. gold be valued from $42? Be reevaluated. Okay. From $42 up to today's value of $2,900. Yeah, 3,000 is right around the corner. Trading Maverick says it's done as well. So I'm proud of all of you, except for Chicano because he hasn't responded yet. I'm proud of all of you for getting your homework done. Every day, 15 minutes. 66 newsletters, and I don't mind doing 15 minutes of my own research. There you go. I mean, I'm dropping my opinion on news. That's 66 articles in just 1 week. After sifting through hundreds, and that gets split up in the morning and the evening. I'm doing all of that, and then banging out my take on that news. It's not. I mean, I'm gonna do it anyway, right? Because I need to know what's going on. I need to be able to manage my bags. I can't manage my bags, right, if I don't do my own research. It's the GMB3. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. I'm not going to be able to do that if I don't just do the foundation, which is do your own research. It's not hard. It's not hard. And trust me, you'll get better and better and better at picking out the salient points. You'll get way better at it. Every day, you'll get better and better and better. And the ultimate goal is to be able to read a wide array of news articles and be able to paint yourself a picture. That's the magic. Franklin Templeton launches a Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF, easy peasy. Literally, it's called easy peasy. JP Morgan predicts the market correction due to the waning institutional demand. I think JP Morgan's been smoking some stuff. Just saying. Charles Schwab appoints a head of digital assets to expand its crypto offerings. I think what they need to do is rethink what they're doing with their Charles Schwab platform and their Thinkorswim platform to make it so that they can become, trading platforms for crypto and not just stocks. I'm just saying, there's a lot of stuff that you could do, Yeah, but Rick Ritchie, I have to ask the question every day. Consistency. You might jump up one day and be like, I was tired. I didn't feel like it. I was lazy. Ask the question every day, even if I think I know what the answer is going to be. Trust, but verify. That's what's up. Technological advancements. Microsoft unveils Majorana. That is a horrible name for a quantum chip. I'm just saying, horrible name. But they introduced their Majorana 1 quantum chip, and it has raised concerns about all of the coins that are out there. All of them. I know for sure that the Bitcoin team is thinking about it. Shiba Inu team is thinking about it. Cardano team is thinking about it. Hedera team is thinking about it. Ethereum team is thinking about it. But as you do your research out there, you need to start paying attention as to what is your stance on, on crypto. What is your stance on quantum computing? That could be a problem for crypto. And I need to, what projects are tackling that? That's what we need to know going forward. It's no longer a behind the curtain question. It's no longer a question for down the road. No, it's a question for here and now, right now. We've got to pay attention to it. Just saying, we've got to pay attention to it. So that was a lot. Market trends and performance. Bitcoin mining revenue holds steady at $1.4 billion. That is actually not that great. That means it's stagnant in terms of growth. So all of these Bitcoin miners are looking toward artificial intelligence as well as high performance computing as additional revenue streams. Riot took it to the next level and said, we're going to buy a wind farm and it will power our operations, in Texas. But guess what? It puts them in the energy business, and some of that power can go back into the grid and they can make money off of that as well. It's a brilliant thing. They're going to help themselves make more money. Brilliant. U.S. gold was valued at $42 in 1971-ish. I don't care about the history. With this new gold audit, the theory is that it will be revalued at today's price to increase U.S. assets. It's a theory. Anything going on in the United States, I'm not thinking anything until I have all the facts in front of me. I'm not even going to try to think up front except for broad strokes. If bad, then this. If good, then that. You know what I mean? Because what they say, everything that I've seen from all these people that are doing this so-called auditing all over the place, they've been spewing out lies. A lease, they took credit for a lease, someplace, and the lease was for Jimmy Carter, who passed away. May he rest in power. Right? They've been doing that all over the place. They tried to take credit for a contract that was ended in October of last year. How are you taking credit for a contract that was killed October of last year? You can't. So yeah, I'm not going to believe what's been reported. I'm going to believe what has been verified. So be careful. Be very careful with that research. What else do we have? Ethereum's Petra upgrade to reduce staking costs and enhance validator efficiency. The European Central Bank unveils a blockchain-based payment settlement system that they're looking into. It's not that they've done it yet, but they are. I mean, it's funny. They'll say blockchain, but they won't say crypto. They'll use the word blockchain as if it's supposed to separate itself from crypto. And they just sit there and just go, do they really think that we're that dumb? Couldn't possibly think that we're that dumb. But, know what I mean? You have JP Morgan anticipating a cryptocurrency market correction before. It's a correction. Everybody will read a correction, but it's a correction before a boom. And I have to tell you, I don't know that we haven't already seen that. We've been maintaining very steady in the middle 90s. In the middle 90s, that's where we've been for a minute. That consolidation is happening right there. Do we take another dip? We've had some big news hit this week and hasn't moved us down nor up nor down from the mid 90s for Bitcoin. So I don't know. What would it take to knock Bitcoin down? And then what would it take to make Bitcoin rise? Those are really, really, really big questions. Then you have Asia's institutional Bitcoin ETF holdings reaching about 599 million. Actually, probably greater than that, right? It's one company. What is it? Avinio or Vario? I forgot the name of the company, but they actually hold by themselves $599 million worth of Bitcoin ETFs. That's not a small thing. A lot of companies are adding Bitcoin to their balance sheets to make themselves look good. Got to see how that goes. Earn, what's good? Could it go to 80K? Maybe. I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith that we'll see $80,000 again. Could we hit the 80s? We did before, right? We hit, what was it, 89, 88, 80, yeah, 88, 89. That wasn't so far ago. That was what, this year? We could touch the 80s again. Would it be 80, as in 79, 80? I don't have a lot of faith in that one. But if it did, I'll tell you that. Hey, Paula, if it did, I'll tell you what I would be doing. That's what I would be doing. I'd be buying in. I would absolutely be buying in. Right? Because as soon as it goes back up to 100, you'd be up. If it hit 80, it goes back up to 100, you're up 25%. Where else are you going to make a quick 25% like that? Just saying. For me, I'd rather put my money into crypto than I would into a bank. I do not trust banks. I'm DCAing right now. I'm DCAing. A lot of people will go out and they'll be like, "Oh, I have this amount of money. I need to do something with it, or I will touch it." I understand. For me personally, I do a couple of things. I put into a dry powder fund, right? And my dry powder fund, a portion of it is in cash, right? And the rest of it is in crypto, right? And the reason for that is because I want to be able to move quickly on either side. So I've got dry powder, and then I have my DCA strategy. My DCA strategy tells me I must put into DCA the same way I put into, these coins. Think of my dry powder as a coin, and constantly put into it. Part of it is when I take profit, part of that profit goes into dry powder. I have to be able to move, and I must be able to move quickly. Let's see. What do you think would drop a Bitcoin price? Yeah, the answer is war. Wait. Depends on where you are. It depends on where you are, who's in the war. I'll say that. People don't want to say it out loud, but when you think about the unnecessary and, just completely asinine war that Russia's war, waging against Ukraine, Bitcoin's recovered from that. If the war was to end, would Bitcoin take a big pop? It'll get a pop off the good news, but will it be a real catalyst? I don't think so. I think we have a better chance of there being real catalysts stemming from the court cases going away officially. I really think that's what it is. Now, it really, depending on what who's in the war, would matter. War can be a boom for big business, whether you choose to believe it or not. Just go do your research on why war starts. Trust me, it's not over some beautiful princess. BTC needs to be around 80 before we shoot to 120. I don't know about that. I do not know about that. Think about the manipulation that's going on now. We didn't have this kind of manipulation from before. People that will absolutely drip Bitcoin out to drop the price so they can buy in bulk. Just saying. Things like that happen. Things like that happen are happening, which is why you have to do your 15 minutes, minimum 15 minutes of research every day, because part of that research should be, where are the coins now? Where are the coins now? What's the market doing now? As well as, I tell people all the time, I'm not just into crypto. I invest in different things so I can spread my risk. Just saying, there are things you need to do. That's one of them. No, you think we need a reset. I don't know that I agree with that. I think we've had several resets. They just didn't hit as big as what we had originally thought they would hit. So I don't know. I don't know if, I don't know that we've not already seen what should have brought us down to 80. Just saying, just look at everything that's happened. The market, think about this. The world's third largest centralized exchange took a direct $1.4 billion hit and is still contending with a run on the bank. Right? Bitcoin's holding steady. We've had a lot of things hit that you'd have thought, oh, that's going to be a big, that's. Did you see what happened to the tariffs? Yeah, we took a big drop, nosebleed level drop, right? Just quick shot down. And then what happened? Came right back. Couple of days, came right back. Basically came back. We didn't come back to where it was, but we've been back to the middle 90s. Just saying. Last bull run, when gold and dollar went down, BTC would go up. Maybe. Yo, Shola, what's good, my brother? How you doing? What do you think? I think he's got a lot of dumb shit. Excuse my language. I think he's got a lot of dumb shit planned for crypto. Right? Look at the Trump coin. Look at the Melania coin. Look at all that kind of stuff. If there is another faux pas, you're going to know, like everybody's already going to know, that he doesn't have a plan for crypto. He's playing a lot of games and yesing a lot of people. His only thing is to keep certain people happy, and that's it. And truth be told, getting rid of, the cases, that's enough to make people happy. That's the minimum that he's actually being asked to do. Doesn't need to do anything else? Not really. It doesn't mean that crypto is going to get, an easy ticket, but it does mean that it'll be a little bit easier. What you should be looking at is the shackles that are coming off the banks. The basic dissolving of the CFPB is huge. It's bigger than what people think, and you really should be paying attention to that. I can't tell you how much you should be paying attention to that. That's huger than huge. Huger than huge. That's not a small thing. So yeah, there are a couple of things that I'm kind of like, whoa, that could be a problem. That could be a problem. So yeah, there are a few things I'm paying attention to. That's a good theory. Oh, there are conversations going on that I have no idea about, so I'm going to leave them alone. Um, there's a new SMS phishing scam. JP Morgan Chase is saying they're going to crack down on Zelle payments. They're going to restrict Zelle payments from SMS as well. Why? Because last year, people were scammed out of 426 or 456 million dollars because of fraud, because of Zelle fraud. And I look at that and I kind of go, well, I could have sent that money to everybody that I needed to send it to, via crypto. Now everybody wags their finger at crypto. And oh, there's so many nefarious things going on. And here are so many scams involving banks. And their lack of ability to thwarting those scams. Because they look at it like this. We're not going to spend any time worrying about scams that don't directly affect us. I want you to let that wash over you for a minute. They're not going to pay any attention to any scams that don't affect them directly. What does that mean? That means if you get scammed, they don't have to make you whole. You messed up. That's your problem. And to a certain extent, it is your problem. But when you have the same scam going on, should you have to take, more action against it? And that's the problem. It's sort of like, how many accounts get hacked on X? At what point do you, say X is the problem? And I think that's a scam in and of itself, right? Because there was an email that went out on Friday that said government workers all must respond to the email, right? And if they don't, then it'll be taken as a resignation. Except there's one problem. The email didn't say that it would take it as a resignation. You had to be following on X to find out if it was to find that part out. Which means he's forcing millions of people to have to go to his platform. And you know how social media works. The more eyeballs you have on your platform, the more you can charge for advertising, right? And then there's another rumor going around that, he threatened a large, ad company that if they don't play ball, he's going to sick the government on them. Why do I bring that up? It's because a lot of people's research contains information from X. There are two problems I have with that. How many numbers of times that they get hacked and how much misinformation is flying around on there. They do not protect your account. They do not protect your identity. So yeah, even when you pay, think about how many people whose accounts got hacked that, they've got their verification badge. You would think they would be protected. They're not. So where you get your information matters. And not just the venue matters, but who's writing it matters. Right? It's big. Is Trump good for crypto? Broad stroke, you could say yes. Broad stroke, you could say yes. My problem is that, excuse me, he might go too far with taking some of the shackles off, some of the oversight. That's one of the reasons why I'm happy that Hester Pierce has taken such a forward seat in leading the task force. Because I think she's smart enough to say that, no, we're not going to just give a blank check to the crypto industry. There will be checks and balances. And if you're out there buying memes, something else she said was, if you're out there buying memes, don't expect the government to make you whole. So what does that take you back to if you're out there doing stuff? Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Right? Hopefully that'll help you minimize your risk. Yeah, Elon getting kicked out is not going to happen. Raspberry, cranberry, seltzer water. What else do we have? We've got Chainalysis unveiling a new tool for tracking stolen cryptocurrency, but that's not all it does. It will help governments yank cryptocurrency. That's big. That's bigger than big. I think Elon is stealing data. If that's the question you're asking me, Shola, that's my honest answer. I think he's out there stealing data under the guise of Doge. Because he needs that data, right? Where's he putting that data so they can do the analysis? Doesn't he own an AI app, right? So yeah, I don't trust anything about what he could be doing with our data. I close my X and don't see it as a credible research resource because of account hacks and spreading of lies. Yeah. There are content creators that I would at least, look at from time to time, but X for me is a one-way street. I don't even check it. I just put out, hey, here's a link to our article. That's it. Whether it be video or text, just here's a link to our article. That's it. I don't check it for anything. If somebody DMs me on there, sucks to be them because my team is not going to answer. My team is not going to answer. In this day and age, you should be able to look up how to reach Grow My Bag. Like seriously, could it be the ETFs are hurting the crypto market, money going there and not into the crypto market? Short term, maybe. Long term, no. Here's why. There's a reason to go into an ETF, right? And it's because you don't want to have to manage it yourself. So Plan B went public and said, don't kidnap me because I put all my crypto in ETFs. I ain't got no keys to give. That's a big deal. That's a very big deal. But in terms of how long they're going to last when you've got an ETF that's only a single coin, I don't think it's going to last long. Single coins are useless. Single coin ETFs, to me, are useless. It's great to get people involved and get them, at least in the mix. But they're actually, to me, just useless. Maybe good for beginners for the first couple of weeks, maybe couple of months. But after that, and then, so here's the real deal. And I've been saying it for a while. There will come a point in time. Right now, I believe there's one that has a weighted Bitcoin and Ethereum single ETF, right? So you've got two coins in that ETF. Great. Awesome. We're going to start to see ETFs that are bigger than that. Forget it. Missed it. They're going to be ETFs that are bigger than that, right? They're going to have more than one crypto in that mix, right? 5, 6, 7, 10, 15. That would make it worthwhile. But as long as there's one, it's useless. I can go get it myself. And then there's one, what was it? iBit is looking to be able to give you like for like. So you buy some Bitcoin. Oh, excuse me. You buy some Bitcoin through them, through their ETF. And then when you want to cash out, you say, well, do you want the cash equivalent or do you want the Bitcoin? That's what they're looking to do. So imagine you could just walk away with your Bitcoin. And here's what's funny. That's new wallet, existing wallet, whatever. They can send it to wherever. What wallet do you want to send us? Do you want us to send it to? It really could be any wallet. When Plan B sent his crypto over to the ETF, he no longer has an address. I mean, technically he still has those wallets, but he doesn't really have an address that anybody can track. And if he goes back and says, great, now give me back my crypto, he could put it into another wallet, thusly breaking that chain. And if these businesses stick to, what they say they're going to stick to, the only people that would know is, let's say BlackRock and whoever the customer is. Obfuscation. Wow, I hate that word. Because unless I'm looking at it and reading it, obfuscation is a tricky word for me. What was that? I despise Elon. I'm very biased when talking about Elon Musk. That's right. I'm absolutely biased. Let me rephrase. I don't like what he stands for. I don't like what he does. I don't like what he's done. I don't give him the credit that everybody else gives him, that he's some kind of a rocket scientist, because he's not. Is he smart? Yes. Is he brilliant? No. Right time, right place, right amount of money. Wasn't like he started in his garage or anything else like that. Was able to buy into projects and put it and slap his name on it. So yeah, no, it's not that I'm biased. It's that I've done my research, and that's been my verdict, period. Right? When he first came out, I was like, oh, let's look at this guy. But I heard somebody else the other day, and they were completely unbiased. And they were like, what charities does he give to? And I choked on it for a minute. I was like, oh snap. It's a good question. Again, I look at somebody that is manipulative. How many times has he dropped notes, dropped hints about Dogecoin? He hasn't done anything with it. He hasn't done anything with it. But he's made sure to manipulate it with his yap. Name something that he's doing that's for the betterment of the world, the benefit of humankind. Haven't seen it yet. When I see it, then maybe I'll change my mind. Until then, nope. That's not biased. That is, I've done the research, and I have yet to see anything that puts him on the plus side. Same way you have your opinion about things, I'm allowed to have mine. My research says he hasn't done anything positive. So I'm worried about what he would do that's why I keep saying, when the question was asked, Shola, you asked it, or somebody out there asked it, do I think Trump is good for crypto or bad for crypto? It's not Orangina I'm thinking about. It's those around him that I'm thinking about. Do some research on PayPal Mafia and then go look at how many of those people in PayPal Mafia have influence in the government now. And I don't mean just who is in the PayPal Mafia. I mean, like, where are they from? What are their family values? Go look that up. Your jaw will drop. Your jaw will absolutely drop. So yeah, don't tell me I'm biased. Just admit that I've done my research. I've done good research on it. And unless somebody can show me something, my research stands. I'm willing to hang my hat on that. Not a problem. I'm willing to go toe-to-toe on anybody else's research. Not a problem. And you're also talking to somebody that's capable of admitting when he's wrong. I have no issue with that. Because that means if me admitting I'm wrong about something means I learned something. I have no problem with that. None. Love it. Makes me better. So yeah, please. So if you can say I'm biased, prove I'm wrong first. What's next? We've got Tether reporting 13 billion. Do you know how hard it is to say this word? $13 billion in profits and over 113 billion in US Treasury holdings. That was their last quarterly report. Just let that wash over you for a minute. Tether reports $13 billion in profits. Wow, all kinds of wow right there. And remember, everything I'm talking about right now is all this past week. What's going on, Hutanik? All this past week. This isn't from 2 weeks ago. This is from just the past 7 days. Thank you, Paula, for letting me know if you did your research. Hutanik, I would bother you, but I know you did your research. I don't know if you did it today, but I know you've been doing it. And I'm pretty sure you did it today. Did you ever get that image I sent you? I sent you an image of something. I'm not going to say what it was, but I sent you an image of something. What else was there? The ECB accelerates its blockchain-based payment system development. That's not small. They're looking at blockchain for settlements. That's not small. Are they going to develop their own blockchain for that? I don't think so. I don't think so. You've got to be on a network that others can get to if you're going to be doing settlements. So to me, you're going to be looking at, at least, even if you had your own, you're still going, thank you, Hutanik. Thank you, Paula. You're still going to need to tie into other sources. So now it's just a matter of, well, what else are you going to tie into? Aave, Avalanche, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Sui, XRP, Hedera. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And now some people are sitting there scratching their heads going, well, how come you didn't say Solana? There's some obvious reasons why I didn't say Solana. Some seriously obvious reasons why I didn't say Solana. You can go do your own research on that and then come back and ask me a question. Let's see. What else do we have? Michael McCaskill was good. Drop me an email and tell me what your perspective is on dark pools, and then we might be able to add it. Adding Hutanik, that's shilling. I mean, it's not shilling, but it's shilling. So dropping notes like that with no context, I'm only gonna view that as shilling, because if somebody did that with another coin, I know you, so that's fine. I get it. But if somebody else was to do that with another coin, we've blocked people for that. So if you're going to say something about it, do me a favor, say a whole sentence so people understand the context of it. And if you're talking about that it's this close to 3,000, you just missed 8 Paws saying it earlier. And she also spoke about the re-evaluation of what's in Fort Knox, supposedly, coming up. So I don't know. Paul, what's going on? What's good? But Hutanik, I know you have more about that. I'd like you to expand, is what I'm really saying. I also was sending a message to everybody out there that would just drop a note about a coin. Yeah, don't do that. Don't just drop a note about a coin. Tell us what you're thinking about that coin. So even about dark pools, Michael McCaskill was like, hey, can we talk about dark pools during the next big bagger meeting? I'm like, I need to understand where you're coming from with that, and then maybe we can have a discussion for it. Because I might have to prep the other big baggers about, well, what's a dark pool? What does it mean? What's its effect? And yada, 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 yada. You know what I mean? So there's a little bit about that. Also, you should be able to talk to it during the big bagger meeting. Everybody, what we're talking about right here is there's a separate group called the Big Baggers. And the Big Baggers meet via video conference call live once a month, where we talk about different coins. Why would we get in them? Different ideas, tips, tricks, all that during that meeting. And one of the biggest conversations we've had is about PAX G, which is what Hutanik dropped right there. But you guys wouldn't know that. So just trying to clarify for you. What else do we have? There's so much news. My gosh. The ECB accelerates their blockchain-based payment system thing. The IMF advises Namibia. Think about this. The International Monetary Fund has advised Namibia that they do not need a CBDC. Really? Seriously? That's interesting. That's very interesting. So I look at that and I just kind of get my giggle on. One of my friends getting on my nerves. I'm gonna have to get her back later. DeFi and decentralization Uniswap version 4 launches with cheaper liquidity pools and new customization features. Cardano achieves full decentralization. You know that Hutanic, that right there is pissing me off. I'm gonna finish reading it to you. Cardano achieves full decentralization with its new on-chain governance model. You want to know why that pisses me off? It's because that should be huge news. I can't tell you how huge of an event that is. They organized 10,000 people from around the world to create this governance model. 10,000 people, 10,000 individuals from around the world. Do you have any idea what that is like? And that's huge news. The level of decentralization, nobody's matched that. And I think it'll be a hell of a long time before anybody could match that. That level of decentralization. Whew, yeah. Good luck with that. Cardano is about to, oh man, Hutanic's driving. Man. But do you have any idea how much of everybody else's lunch Cardano's about to eat? And leave dirty dishes. That is huge news. Huge news. But it got swallowed up by a $1.4 billion hack. It got swallowed up by a whole bunch of political stuff. It got swallowed up by just everything that's going on right now. That was a huge piece of news. Cardano should be $1 plus right now. And it's not. Tell me that's not annoying. It's annoying to me. I don't know about you, but it's annoying to me. Then you have Kraken relaunches. My guys are working on a Sunday. Let me just write. I used it. There you go. Got Chainalysis, got IMF. Kraken relaunches a compliant staking service in the United States. You have Binance.us resuming US dollar transactions after 2 years. Can't tell me that's not big. Trading Maverick, take your behind to the corner. Because you did that on purpose. That's actually funny though. That's actually mad funny. 8 pause, you can go with him because you're not supposed to be laughing. You can't allow people to get away with stuff like that. You're supposed to come to my defense. Man, you have me tearing a little bit right there. That was so funny. Oh man. Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick pushes for a Bitcoin reserve in Texas. That's huge. Montana, same thing. They've moved forward. What is it? 21 or 22 states in the United States of America are pushing for Bitcoin reserves now. Not small news. Not small news. Wintermute announces an expansion to the United States because of the changing regulations around crypto. Right now, we're seeing all good stuff. Later on, we might not be. So we've got to pay attention. That's why, Shola, when you think about, the new regime and what's going on there, you got to pay attention to all the little details, all of them. All of them. And one of the things that gets me is, look at how banking now has the shackles off 2 ways. One, right, the CFPB goes away. Okay, that's a Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. basically dissolved, shot in the foot, done. Shackles are off. Nobody's looking over their shoulders in the banking industry. Then you have the Fed saying, oh yeah, banks can get involved in crypto. Oh, really? Okay. Just a little while ago, everybody thought that JP Morgan was going to buy Robinhood. They decided to buy something else. I was shocked that they didn't buy Robinhood. What does Robinhood do? They go out and buy Bitstamp for $200 million. So now Robinhood, with its own platform, buys a crypto platform. And now everybody should be looking for a job over at Robinhood if they're a technologist, because there's going to be a whole lot of post-merger integration going on right there. That's huge. That's huger than huge. And does it make apps like Ninja or TradingView look delicious, ripe for the picking? Oh, the answer is absolutely yes. The answer is absolutely yes. It would not shock me that if in a couple of months or so that it would not be, bought. That some of these smaller crypto platforms aren't just bought, right? Bitcoin OS, Hydra, at midnight are huge. Hutanic, go in the corner. I'm not explaining it. I'm already pissed off. Cardano's got to be the world's most decentralized project right now. And it has taken a backseat to so much other news. And that's the biggest news there is. If you're worried about decentralization, Cardano. You worried about speed, Cardano. You worried about security, Cardano. Resilience, Cardano. Ability to build, Cardano. I'm so angry. The speed, I don't even want to talk about Hydra. Oh, I really just want to kick Hutanic right now. So Hutanic's in the corner. Trading Mavericks in the corner. 8 pauses in the corner just because she laughed. Now I have to read something else, and I think it's from Rick Ritchie, and he's probably going to wind up in the corner. There should be a GMB after. There you go. He's in the corner. There you go. That first like what 5 words, and I know he's in the corner now. After party meeting after the meetings to discuss different thoughts and projects, at least until the social platform comes out on GMB TV. Not enough time. There's not enough time. It really isn't. There's not enough time. Just another Sunday in the corner, gang. Oh my God. Oh. So, as an update for the new social platform, somebody else, Andrew Henson asked me, did it launch yet? And I just wanted to reach through the wires and just strangle him a little bit. It's like, dude, you would have gotten all the big baggers going to be on the platform long before everybody else. So what we've done is we've taken the features that we want and we've put them on separate pages, right? Does this feature work? Does this feature work? Does this feature work? And right now we have most of the features working. Right now we've got the feed working, right? But the part that isn't working are reactions. Like you wouldn't be able to go through and say like that, So we have to work on that. And it's a tiny little bug. We could see it in the code. It loads up the whole 9, but something is going on that's stopping it. So once we get that little bug stomped on, all the big baggers will be on. I mean, literally. You know what? Just because I know people are going to be a pain in the butt. Let's go see. So you can see the test page. Dun, 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 dun. Just bear with me for a minute. Just bear with me. I shouldn't have to log in. I already logged in. Let's see. Oh, wrong one. There you go. MyBag.tv. That's the one we're supposed to be going to. It'd be nice if I knew how to spell too. Just bear with me. Yep, and then there's Control A, copy. So let me drag this over here. Bam. And so, like I said, we're right there. Like, we've got stuff, right? So we do have it working. You know, the crypto tracker, you guys have seen this, but the post on a separate page, like, that's the kind of stuff that we're talking about right there. That's what we're talking about. So if we can get reactions working, then the feed is up and running. We already have content, meaning the over 7,000 articles. The only thing we'd have to do there is refresh for the past, I think, like 2 weeks, to get the last 2 weeks of articles. And then all the articles will be going over to the new site as well as the old site. And so that way we're all lined up and ready for the cutover. So yeah, it's not like we're putting up, you know, this tiny freaking website that we're not doing anything on. There's a lot of work that goes on there. A lot of work that goes on there. So yeah, we've got a bit going on. We've got a bit going on. But I didn't want you guys to think that we're not working. We're working really hard. Like I said, one of my guys is like working right now. Actually, that's like 2 or 3 of my guys working right now. Yeah, I don't even appreciate that joke, Rick Ritchie, because there's a lot of work that goes into that. So yeah, I know it's meant to be funny, but it's not. When you're the one doing the work, it's not funny. Yeah, those are tulips. Those were tulips on the background. I have a background screen that, you know, it changes every so often. And look at that. A pause wants to stay in the corner. This guy just teases people naturally. I don't. It's just there's been so much work that's gone into it. So we've had portions of the site working. Like 2 weeks ago, we synced up all the content. So 2 weeks ago, we were ready to go like that and let the big baggers come and play. We're also I'm rethinking the services that we give to the big baggers, right? So it's not to subtract, but to add. So we're thinking about how do we package that? Like, is there a big bagger section and everything's right there? Or is it that, you know what I mean? So it's how do we present everything that we want to give to the big baggers? It's everything that we want to present to regular members, which are called baggers. Then there's the educational pieces that we have. Like, that stuff is already to rock and roll. Like, we have that. And like I said, the code that we're writing right now is a multi-purpose code base, where that code base is going to be used for the website, the app, the wallet, even the Roku channel, and, you know, other channels that would be pulling from it. So that base code model is very intricate. So whenever we make a change, we've got to think about everything else that we're serving when we touch it like that. So there's a ton. But yeah, I've been chomping at the bit. You have no idea. Because I know my big baggers will be on there just like kicking everything and like complaining about everything. Like, I don't like the way this is. And we should have this. And I'm actually looking forward to those conversations, because that means that, you know, if once we get to a point where everybody's asking for additional features, you know you're onto something good. So yeah, I'm dying to let my big baggers just, you know, have fun, bang on it. So I was going to let it go out without the reactions to all the big baggers. And then I said, nah, that kind of sucks, because I'd have to type that I like this or comment on it so you know I was there. And I think that's inconvenient when you just want to just click like and move on. And there are several reactions that we're going to be giving. There's, you know, we need to turn on, you know, all that stuff. The GMB book, Rick Ritchie, is massive. It's massive. It's 500 pages plus. It's going to be, 10 inches tall by 7 inches wide. I'm pretty sure it's going to be about 500 pages. It's a big book. It's taking you through the GMB3 and applying it to crypto, stocks, and general business. If you want to buy a business, sell a business, it's taking you through those three areas and how each one of those things apply. So it's not small. I know you have Google. We're not going to be able to do everybody all at once. So one of the things that we're doing is we'll have an online version of the channel. We'll have a Roku version of the channel, a Fire TV version of the channel, an Apple TV version. So it's about creating the base, which is what we've done right now, and then doing each one of those verticals. Like I said, it's bigger than a bread box. It's bigger than a bread box. Google is one of the things. Google might actually wind up being easy. We do a lot of work with Google code, so that one might wind up being easier. What else do we have? Let me bring up my notes again. So is that good enough of an update for everybody? I mean, do you have any other questions? Seriously, I'm not even joking. Like, do you have other questions? Because I can understand why people would have questions. Why are you using crypto terms to describe a channel? Roku is still the biggest channel out there. It's bigger than Apple TV. Apple TV is nowhere near as big as what they would like you to think. It's nowhere near. Nowhere near. Neither is Google. Roku is actually still the biggest. Yo, Lex Luthor in the house. Roku's still the biggest. I wouldn't even be able to tell you who the second one is. Wouldn't be able to tell you. Would not be able to tell you. Yeah, Apple TV is on Roku because they needed to grow. They needed to grow. That's really what was up. Oh, that's what you meant. Okay, okay, now I understand what you're saying. No, it's different. So on Roku, I can get Apple TV, but for me to be on Apple TV, I still have to push to Apple TV. So each one of them are separate. I still, if you're Apple TV, it doesn't mean that you're going to get stuff from Roku. If you're on Roku, it means you can get stuff from Apple TV, but I'd rather develop for Roku first. Lex, you ain't right, man. You ain't right. Bro, I'm upset. Everyone is touchable. 1.4 billion. Somebody gonna get touched. North Korea, bro. North Korea. They already know that it was the Lazarus group out of North Korea. I'm waiting for countries to outright say North Korea has declared digital war and we are going to win this war with the push of a button. You don't have to drop a bomb. Drop an EMP. Done. You can put them in a world of darkness for eons. It's just that nobody wants to go that far, but you could easily do that. You could easily do that because then they wouldn't be able to, nobody would be able to phone home and they wouldn't be able to phone out. Just saying. They've declared war. $1.4 billion stolen in one shot. We're not talking about the amount of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions that they've already stolen. We're talking about $1.4 billion in a single shot. Wow. I don't think the Fire Stick has Apple TV. I don't know. I know one of our other channels is on the Fire Stick and Roku, Rebel Vino. But we'll be revamping that one as well. As soon as we're done with Go to My Bag, we'll be revamping our other channels too. But Mr. Big, yeah, I feel you, man. But it's all them. It's all them. What else do we have? Coinbase expands crypto futures to include Solana and Hedera. Binance.US restored USD. Wintermute expands in the United States. I already said Robinhood bought Bybit. Dogecoin sees $100 million deposited on Binance. That was not a good thing. And it was a blip. It wasn't even a blip in terms of a movement. It was just a blip in news, and it just happened and everything kept moving. Everything just kept moving. Now I want you to stop and think about this and think about the impact on crypto. $1.4 billion was stolen from the world's third largest crypto exchange, and all Bitcoin did was blink. That's all it did. The whole crypto space, all it did was blink. And in some cases, I don't even think it did that. That's why at the beginning of the show, I was asking the question. So what is it going to take? Ern was saying, oh, it needs to go down to, 80 grand. What would it take for it to go down to 80 grand? It would be war. And then it'd be a long time before we popped up, right? Or that's the consensus, is that it would be war. When I look up at any other news, I'm kind of like, $1.4 billion, it gets stolen. Nothing moves. Robinhood buys Bitstamp. Nothing moves. Binance.us resumes USD transactions. Nothing moves. It just keeps going along laterally like this. So what would it take for there to be downside? What would it take for there to be upside? Tell me that's not nuts. Tell me that's not nuts. Hutanic, true. Just bought a few Roku sticks. Best $20 I spent. Yep. They're real easy to work with. You get a whole lot with a Roku stick. You don't even have to subscribe to anything, and you get a lot with a Roku stick. Just saying. Right? What else we have? Libra co-founder admits to insider trading at launch. He used some of the proceeds from Libra to snipe Libra. You can't tell me people are not looking for that kid. Argentina's president is in big Milei, whatever the hell his name is. He's another ass, but he's going to be in trouble. He tried to pull off a grift. It's not the first time that he's tried this. The kid that was involved doing this was basically saying, I had Milei in my back pocket. I gave his sister money and he would do what I want him to do. He told everybody how it worked. That's not going to go away for him. That's not going to go away for him. I don't think that politicians realize that this world is geographically smaller now. I want you to think about that. The world as it is right now is geographically smaller because everybody's so close. I'm not paying long distance fees to call somebody anywhere in the world. I just hop on Zoom, Teams, freaking web app, just anything, WhatsApp, anything. And I can be on the phone with somebody across the planet. I mean, even here with Bro My Bag, it's an international show. I don't bring you news that's just about here in the United States. I bring you news from around the world because the world is small enough that what happens anywhere can affect everywhere. So yeah, it's big. What's stupid to me is they put out a bounty for, what is it, 140? I think it was 140 million. Yeah, put out the bounty. If it wasn't North Korea, I'm willing to bet they would have taken you up on that bounty. If it wasn't North Korea, I'm dead serious. Other hackers would have been like, oh, we don't have to worry about laundering the money because they'll leave us alone. All right, great. We'll keep the 140 and send them back everything else. Done. No harm, no foul. We get to walk away with 140 mil. No problem. No problem. Most would accept that because the trouble in laundering crypto, it's tough. It's tougher than you think. It's tougher than you think, right? My shoulder took a double one. Mr. Big, I don't know what that means. That's a political statement, Houtanic, so I'm not going to talk about it. Simple as that. Mr. Big, I don't know what that means. Is Shield a token? I don't know what that means. You're going to have to give me something. They know who the hacker is, though. Or hackers. They know who they know who's behind it. North Korea is behind it. So I thought they put out a bounty for the hacker. Like, here's an offer. I think it's either way, frankly. I don't think anybody's going to get touched, bro. Maybe. Actually, you know what? Maybe. You have a point. It's possible. It's possible. But you know where it's going. What happened already. It's in the past. What you got to do is you've got to stop it from happening again. They hit high up on the totem pole, number 3. Oh, NVIDIA Shield. Oh, okay. Yeah. Just saying. They hit high up on the top, number 3 in the world. They just put everybody on freaking notice. If we can get to number 3, we can get to you. Whether you're number 1 or number 2, a number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If we can get to them, we can get to you. That's big. No, I got you. I don't use a NVIDIA Shield. Never even heard of it. Never even heard of that as a streaming device. Nope. My loss. What else was there? Any other news? That's it. 66 different things. Vince, I'm going to say this as nice as I can. If that's what you believe, there's no reason for you to be on this channel. Seriously. If that's what you believe, there's no reason to be on this channel. Mr. Big, you shouldn't pay for TV. You really should not be. And Rick Ritchie and Houtanic, stop with the political stuff. Dead serious. There you go. It's not a political channel. Unless it's going to affect our bags. That's it. Oh, that's what you mean. No, I don't think the bull cycle is over. Here's why I don't believe it's over. This cycle is like no other. I don't know. Right now, I don't even know if we can call it a cycle anymore. After the halving event is a cycle, right? And we were kind of linking everything to the halving event. Totally get it. Cool. Got it. Not a problem. But right now, you can't say that we're part of a cycle anymore. I don't think so. I really don't think so. So when I stop and look at how everything is moving right now, there are so many differences between now and previous cycles that I just don't see how anybody can call it a cycle. How? And I don't think the cycle is. I don't think the upside is over either. I do not think the upside is over because there's so much more news that's already been queued up. You know, so I'm just sitting back, just waiting, just thinking about how does that work? So, just saying, there are things out there that just make me stop and think. When I look over the past week, what's happened over the past week that sets me up for success going forward? Robinhood's purchase of Bitstamp, that's just the purchase. That means there are more steps to come. That means we're probably going to be looking at other purchases. That was a really smart move by Robinhood. They know that their money is going to start being made. Like their pin play into crypto is now becoming their main play. Buying Bitstamp was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. OTC desks have less Bitcoin now than February of 2017. Let that wash over you for a minute. So when you let that wash over you, you start to realize, holy moly, we literally are looking at a bunch of pent up energy, a bunch of pent up positive energy. We're not here promoting products, so everybody cut it out. We're all done with that. It's not affecting our bags. Remember that. But yeah, when I think about OTC transactions, limited time left. Nobody can really put a finger on it. But what? You think we have about a year? I give it a year before we start really having problems with people trying to buy, this amount of Bitcoin at a clip via OTC. It would truly have to be you're buying, you're selling, and then the other problem is going to be you might as well do that on an exchange. That's what they're built for. Unless you really want these exchanges to happen behind the scenes. If you're a publicly traded company, sooner it'll get wound up getting reported within 3 months. Maybe closer to 6, depending on when you do the deal. If you do the deal just after you reported, all right, but you know what I mean? So but I think it's really just 3 months. I think you've got a 3-month max before you can do it. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happens. And I'm just sitting back and I'm saying to myself, how much negative news are we looking at? There's a lot of political angst that we've got to deal with. That if I had a risk machine and I could throw things into that risk machine and it would weigh the risks for me, we've got political turmoil, right? We have regulation. We have mergers and acquisitions that are all queued up right now. Somebody made the suggestion that Chainlink could buy Pith. Something like that really could happen. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't put big odds on it, but there would still be odds. See what I mean? So if I had a risk engine, a risk box that I just throw all these things into and it crunches the numbers, there's a lot that goes into it. But I think more of it is positive than negative. So I think the bull run is done? Nah. We have too many things queued up. And Stitch wants to play. Look at this guy. So yeah, I don't see it. Logic says it's turned into a perpetual bid as prices keep going up for BTC. I don't know about that. I could see how. I could definitely see how. But there's so many factors that go into it that could just small factor could make a big change. That's what stops me. Too much manufacturing, the price of BTC. That's why JP Morgan put a warning out. I think JP Morgan is full of it. I really think JP Morgan is full of it. Come here. There you go. Say hello to everybody. Say hello to everybody. All right, come here. So that's what we're looking at. That's it. That's all I got for this week. So if you're looking for next week, come here. Come. Yeah, it's mine now. So yeah. Yeah, there's Stitch, just being a big boy. Come here. Come say hello again. No, come say hello. Come on. There you go. He's a ham. Oh, cut it out. You'll never be stronger than me. What do you think this is? Ooh, it's on the other side. Sorry. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for keeping me on my toes. Going forward, the way I want to handle Sunday roundups is throughout the week, I want you guys to do your own research, and I want you to come up with your questions. And then let's tackle it next Sunday as we look backwards and see how everything played out. You know what I mean? Like, did it play out the way you thought it would play out? Whatever the situation is. I think with the purchase of Bitstamp by Robinhood that we're going to see more purchases of that kind. I think there's a strong possibility that somebody could white knight Bybit, bail them out of trouble, and now we've got somebody else running Bybit. That's a big deal. I'm actually shocked that Bybit doesn't have money. Third largest in the world, and you mean to tell me you don't have $1.4 billion just lying around? That means that the money that came in profit just immediately went out the door. You have no reserves. So in terms of operations, a lot of people are going to be looking at other crypto exchanges to see how are you running your operations? What kind of reserves do you have? Would you be able to sustain a hit and truly be solvent? Because Bybit's basically, we're not like Rick, it was you, right? They're basically insolvent. If you must have a $1.4 billion, loan or purchase in order for you to be solvent, you suck. Because Binance makes money hand over fist. How are you not making money hand over fist? How? So yeah, I have operational issues. Alderbridge, look into it. Save so much money. Don't know what that is. You got to tell us what it is. I'll give you guys my login, big baggers only. Thank you for that, but I'd rather you tell us what it is. Rick Ritchie again, thank you. Just making sure I don't miss anything. Too much manufacturing. Yeah, I got that one. Got that one. All right, I guess we're good. Everybody, thank you so much for your time, your patience, and most of all, thank you for your trust. This is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. This was your Sunday Roundup. Hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.